We're coming to you live from our digital address GA0992539 here at Kokomilimle, also live on DSTV channel 421 and GoTV channel 144. Now, there was heavy security last night at Reverend Owusu Bempah's residence after angry youth stormed his church to destroy property. The destruction is believed to be a direct response to his prophecy that the chief imam and vice president Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia are likely to die in 2019. Some youth, riled by the predictions Wednesday, stormed the church premises and destroyed whatever they could lay their hands on. Meanwhile, the national chief imam, Sheikh Osman Nuhu Shaributu, has urged calm among the Islamic community after the youth, believed to be Muslim, destroyed properties at the Glorious Word Power Ministry in Dansoman. There's more in the following report.
Owusu Bempah, they be our predicti. They be our predicti. This week, you are predicti say Ebebua, and the Obua. This week, Ebebua. We want predicti say Ebebu to Ayabebudu. Yalla about it. Yabebu.
An unidentified voice in the clip vowing to assault the preacher a day after it emerged. Reverend Owusu Bempah prophesied the death of a national chief imam and the vice president.
Now, that also I saw Ghanaians wearing a funeral cloth, but I saw that it was an Islamic funeral, but it was a national thing. But I heard the voices of people crying Allahu Akbar. That person is also very prominent. And people, Ghanaians, listen to him when he speaks. And he is the vice or the deputy to a president. Ghanaians need to pray. That one is also not confirmed. So we can stop it with prayer.
It will not take long as scores of angry machete-wielding youth stormed the premises of a church at Dansoman and destroyed properties.
What you see first when you get here, this particular billboard has been brought down by what direct church members or individuals are coming to the church. And when I saw that the youth decided to break this entire billboard down that has a picture of Reverend Owusu Bempah and also a night of prophetic experience, which is advertised here at the premises of the church. But when you come inside, you realize that a lot of property has been vandalized, but not also. This is not the only billboard that has been smashed. What you also see here is actually another billboard, but this is to signal the church that they are putting up on this particular premise. You realize that part of this has also been brought down. But when you finally enter, even before we enter here, at the window, you see the marks, you see the machete marks that have been, used on this particular window. Even from here, you realize that this particular story building that is here has been destroyed. You can see that the gliding windows have been hit by stones, by woods, by sticks, and that is what you see at the top part of this particular building. But here, most importantly, is where the children come on Sundays to come and hear the word of God. And so when you enter this particular building, the first thing that meets you is this organ that has been destroyed by these men. Water scattered all over, plastic chairs that have been destroyed and left vandalized. Windows, as you can see, the louver blades have also been destroyed. And so here, this is the extent of damage that has been caused to this particular Sunday school building.
The watchman at the church premises, seen in a viral video running for his life with only a towel strapped around his waist, told JoyNews the attackers were heavily built. I was about to take my bath when I heard noises from outside the building. Before I realized, some individuals accosted me and they began beating me. I had to run for my life with only a towel strapped around my waist. One of the associate pastors at the church believes the attack was a direct response to the December 31 prophecy. The intervention of the Odoko police saved what is left of a church property on the compound, and a planned evening service at the church was called off. The office of a national chief imam moved in to urge the Muslim community to remain calm and desist from acts of vandalism that could tarnish the image of the chief imam. Meanwhile, there was heavy security deployments at the residence of the Glorious Word Power Ministry founder overnight to prevent what could have been further attacks. The police say they are currently analyzing viral videos of the destruction to identify those involved as investigations into the incident continue.
Imam, catch him too. Go back to Amushigar Jannah. Kirima Allah. Catch him too. Go back to Amushigar Jannah. Duri man.
Well, the angry youth have given Reverend Owusu Bempah a 24-hour ultimatum to apologize for his prophecies.
Owusu Bempah, warning, warning, 24 hours, but more than a bra. Napie live videos to never patch up. Napa Islam watch up. Once a minimum call on a call, Adia area mau, very small. Adia only ever pipe church, very small. Chief Imam very small. Pastor Owusu Bempah, this message goes to you. Bomadia Yamau 24 hours. Uber Pierre now apologize because all the police saying Kraba minimum call just a mukuyo. You best say Bibia or very started. Very last warning.
Well, those were some angry youth there who went to Pastor Owusu or Reverend Owusu Bempah's church to vandalize his property. They are giving him a 24-hour ultimatum. They spoke in the local language in Chi, but they said that no matter the amount of or the number of police that are deployed, or police personnel that are deployed to his church premises, they are still going to come there and attack if he doesn't apologize. Well, JoyNews' Maxwell Akbaba visited the church premises this morning and reports calm has returned to the compound. In an interview with an assistant resident pastor, Reverend Rodney Nyako, he said that Ghanaians should expect more prophecies from the man of God soon. He assured he would not be cowed into silence following yesterday's incident.
Will this affect any future prophecies? Will this stop Prophet Owusu Bempah from, making any declarations about any prophecies? Will this stop him?
I don't think so. They should expect more.
They should expect more?
Yeah.
Okay. As assistant pastor, let me just find out from you. I'm sure you've monitored, social media commentary, and you've monitored what's going on social media, even on mainstream media, with a lot of people, condemning your head pastor for the prophecies that he gave on 31st night. What do you make of all that is happening?
I think that they are not really understanding my papa. We have the fivefold ministries, right? And he has been called as a prophet. And there's one thing we shouldn't forget. God does nothing until he reveals it to his prophets. And we should also understand that the devil is at work 24/7, 365. The Bible makes us to understand that the evil one, he does not sleep until he sees someone has fallen. So surely, once God has called him as a prophet, he will reveal to him the plans of the evil one against his children. So he coming out to make this known to the public, I don't see it as something bad, but it is rather a good news for us, because the devil had planned something against us and it has been revealed. So we should rather pray against it so that it does not happen, rather than condemning and then insulting him.
Let's move to Reverend Owusu Bempah's residence now, where we understand that there was heavy security personnel yesterday to protect him. My colleague Maxwell Akbaba is there. Maxwell, describe the environment or the mood at Prophet Owusu Bempah's residence.
Well, it looks very calm. Not much of activity is happening in the house at this point. We can confirm and say that the prophet himself is not at home. We understand he stepped out with one of his senior pastors. But yesterday, we were told by persons very close to him and people who live in the community here that yesterday there was heavy security presence. We were told that some soldiers were in the house to ensure that nobody is able to enter the place and cause, any mayhem. But they actually left this morning. We were told they'll be coming back later to resume their guard duties in the evening. But as it stands right now, it's all calm in the house. The occupants are going about their normal duties. There is no security presence as it stands now. But we're told that they'll resume their guard duties later in the day.
Maxwell, but have you picked up any other reactions from those who live around? How do they feel about this? Have you been getting any comments on that?
Yeah, we've been speaking to persons very close to the prophet, and they tell us that expectation out there is that he would not be making any bold declarations or prophecies after the incident happened at his church premises. But we are told by persons very close to him that the prophet is not one really who is shaken by incidents like this. Some of them cite incidents like 2016 when he made some predictions about the elections. They are saying that really this really would not shake him. They say that he has done it before and he would continue to foretell what would happen. They say that the moments that he backs down on his prophecies or the moments that he gets discouraged by incidents like this, then it means that it's not God who is speaking to him. They say that for him to prove to the world that
Sorry, we lost Maxwell there. But joining me in studio now is a member of the Greater Accra Regional Peace Council, who's also the personal assistant of the National Chief Imam. He's Alhaji Kuzaima Mohammed Osman, and we're going to be speaking more on this particular incident that occurred yesterday and how the Office of the Chief Imam is handling the matter. Good morning, Alhaji. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning to you once again. First off, let me find out from you what your thoughts are on what happened yesterday with the angry youth vandalizing property at Reverend Owusu Bempah's church.
Well, thank you once again. First of all, let me say it's an unfortunate incident. We never sanctioned it. The Chief Imam never sanctioned it. In fact, when we heard of the prophecy, we decided not to take any action. But then when we heard that some youth are, have been agitated, the Chief Imam quickly called for calm and asked the youth, as you might have seen in the video, not to react in any way. So it's a very unfortunate incident. We are not too happy about it. This is not the way we respond to issues. Particularly His Eminence the National Chief Imam himself doesn't respond to issues like this. We all know him as a man of peace. We know him as somebody who is calm, even at the height of provocation. So we don't want to see it happening anywhere again.
Alhaji, before the Chief Imam released a statement yesterday, we had seen an earlier video reacting to the prophecy. But it appears that video could not calm these youth who were agitating down. How else is the Chief Imam or the Office of the Chief Imam handling this matter to make sure that these angry youth don't go attacking the man of God or any of his properties again?
Well, as most of us might have seen the video, some of the youth have been identified in the video. So we're trying as much as possible to get to, you know, their friends, you know, some of them are, you know, seems popular. So we're looking for them. But not only that, we are very happy that the security agencies are also at work. But the Chief Imam is very, very, very disturbed about the incident. So, and one thing I know in particular about the youth is that once they realize the Chief Imam is unhappy about the situation, they try as much as possible to return back or to apologize to him and never to do that again. So hopefully, inshallah, all fingers crossed, we are not seeing this thing happening again, even though, you know, we saw the threats, you know, but I don't think it will happen again.
You said you're trying to identify some of these people in the video, but at least do you know one of them? I mean, does anybody know from the Chief Imam's office know at least one of them? Can you identify?
Yes, that's what I'm saying. The team has been put up just as yesterday, last night, you know, and then some of our team members.
So you know some of them?
Some of them that, you know, some of our officers said they can identify some of them.
And have you reached out to them? Have you spoken to them?
Yeah, this morning I'm aware, before coming here, I'm aware that, you know, they are mobilizing themselves.
All right. So you said the police was handling the matter. So for those who decide that they're not going to listen to the plea or the caution coming from the Chief Imam and still want to go ahead to defend him, as we are seeing, are there any internal ways of sanctioning them? Is there anything you can do that will be deterring enough?
Yeah, let me say first of all, these are not a known group to the Chief Imam. You know, when you say defend the Chief Imam, defend the Chief Imam, these are not a known group that...
I'm saying defend because of that video they put out, given Pastor Owusu Bempah an ultimatum. They said they were doing this for the Chief Imam. So it's not like an organized group per se, but at least they have a certain feeling, a certain allegiance towards him that they want to put out.
Yes. Let me again reiterate that the Chief Imam never sanctioned it. He's not happy about it. He has expressed his, you know, he's angry over it. And we are doing everything possible to get to them, all of them. But in the unfortunate incident that this, you know, continues, I believe, you know, and you can take my word for it, that we call the police to be in action, because this is an act of vigilantism. And we are the first or among the front runners of condemning vigilantism in the country. There's an angry youth that we are aware, you know, who take issues like this, you know, in their hands to deal with it, probably because they don't believe that, you know, social justice is being done in the system. However, we condemn it, we don't sanction it, we don't ask anybody. The Chief Imam never asked anybody to defend him.
Okay.
In fact, he's well known as somebody who even says to us and to everybody, even if you hear somebody, you know, abusing him, don't respond to it, because our Prophet was abused so many times, and he follows the path of the Prophet. You know, our Prophet was abused, he was prosecuted, he was, you know, a whole lot of things. And he says, if the Prophet, you know, who is a holy person, was abused with all the angels that Allah has sent to protect him, but then he never respond to it, you know, in a violent way, then why do we have to respond in this way? So it's never, you know, this we don't know about it, as in, you know, any formal group that are doing these things, you know, to defend the Chief Imam or to, we don't know about it, and we'll never sanction it, we'll never ask for it to.
Alhaji, permit me to ask, is it that in the Islam religion you don't believe in prophecy, or it is the way this was handled probably that's bringing us to where we are?
Yes, let me say that we believe in prophecies.
Okay.
Our Prophet ﷺ had mentioned several occasions that, you know, even after him, there will still be, you know, prophecies, not prophets.
Okay.
But prophecies, you know, of things that people will see. Good men of God will see things that are going to happen, not only in this world, but even the hereafter. There are good men, holy men, who will see what is going to happen. But just as you said, it is the way this was handled. This was, you know, this came about. we believe every man of God, just like the chief imam and other pastors, if I tell you the number of letters, prophecies that we receive, at the chief imam's residence in the office, people who claim to have seen things, and then they write to us.
From different religions?
From different religions. They write to us, or they seek an appointment, and they come to have a private conversation sometimes with the chief imam. He, being a man of God, he knows how to handle such things. Whether it is directly related to him, or to the president, or to the nation, or to anybody, he knows how to handle it. So we believe that if it is done in good faith, not for attracting, popular whatever, for personal gains, then this sort of prophecies should be directed at the persons that are involved. For instance, if this man of God, could have sought the chief imam's attention and said, this is what I have seen. The chief imam never rejects anybody at his house. As more importantly, a man of God, somebody who claims to be a man of God, he never rejects you, and he will have sometimes we don't even take part in the discussion. And so I believe if that had happened, perhaps it would have been better. And we want to. I've heard the video, and I've heard his respondent as well. It's a word of advice to them that not only to the chief imam, we are not perturbed by this. Let me say it again. He could say whatever he wants to say. He has his freedom of religion, freedom of speech. But even with the president of any other person, like you're not another person, but any other person that he had a prophecy on, he could sort you in privacy and say, this is what I saw about you.
What about those who argue that he's doing this because he wants the entire nation to pray about it, and so if he comes to the chief imam privately, he may not get that enormous prayer support, like when he broadcasts and it's gone viral like this? I'm pretty sure everybody, or almost everybody in Ghana who has access to a mobile phone may have seen, or who has access to a radio or TV may have seen or heard of this prophecy. What about those who say that he's doing that because he wants more prayers for these people that he prophesies about?
Yes, he may have that good intention, but this is definitely not the way to go about it. I don't believe by making these popular proclamations on social media, on the national television or whatever, will get you the attention that you wanted. If it's prayers that you wanted it to be done in a nationwide form, you could have done it in so many ways. You don't necessarily have to mention the president or the vice president or the chief imam or any other person. You could make a prophecy that, if indeed what you have seen it, you could make a prophecy that, you have seen calamities happening, or, people are going to, big people or important people are going to fall. So, you need the nation to pray over it. And I'm sure you will get a lot of support, because when you say that, every house in this country has somebody that he reveres, and you wouldn't want to lose that person, so you will be involved indirectly. And I'm sure even if you go to the person, like the president, he has access to him, the vice president, he has access to almost everybody that he mentioned. They could put themselves up, mobilize, create a critical mass, and then pray over it, without necessarily attracting all these agitations and tension, which is unnecessary. This is not the first time. People have been calling to order, and I think perhaps he ought to listen.
Okay. Now, you're a member of the Greater Accra Regional Peace Council, and in the statement the Chief Imam released, he spoke about how Christians and Muslims have lived together in Ghana over the years without issues. I'd like you to just speak from your heart and to anybody who may feel offended by this, and how we can move on and maintain the relationship that Christians and Muslims have.
Well, let me say again that the Chief Imam, as a peaceful man, and a man who always championed the cause of peace, has condemned this unreservedly. And we, those who are acting on his behalf and at his residence in his office, are also not too happy about it. And because we want to guard the peace that we have in this country, we have a very good, not a cordial, even stronger than that, relationship with Christians in this country and every other religion, the Jews, the traditionalists, and and this should not be taken in any way, to adverse effect of what we are having. In fact, as I'm speaking to you, we have sat down last night, and what we have come out is that, there are so many bishops, reverends, men of God from the other divide, from the other side, from the Christians, who have, made so much tremendous effort in guarding the peace of this country. And we don't see them doing all these things. So I'm not saying this to say that the Reverend Owusu Bempah is also not, a prominent person. But what I'm trying to say is that when you take 100 people that we have this great relationship with them, how many of them, make these utterances or try to foment trouble? We see none. It's only this one. And again, we have these peace activities going on with other religions. Let it continue. Nothing had happened, in fact, to destabilize us or to destroy the relationship that we have with any other person. The Quran was very, very emphatic that anybody who lives with you in peace and harmony, you should, return the same. As long as the person did not try to take you out of your homes, drive you out of your house, or stop you from praying. And we have none in this country. So we appeal to everyone, to continue to pray for our peace, and also to, foster the good relationship that we have with Christians and other religions in this country. This incident is just an unfortunate one. We don't see any of our Christian pastors doing this. We have the Christian Council, we have the Catholic bishops, we have the charismatic churches. We have fantastic relationship with them, and nothing affect this. And so we'll continue to have that great relationship with them, have a dialogue with them, meet with them, discuss with them about our national issues, even our, faith issues.
Thank you very much for your time. Alhaji Kuzema Mohammed Osman is a member of the Greater Accra Regional Peace Council and a personal assistant to the Chief Imam. Really, really pleased that you could join us this morning. Well, he's not the only person advocating for peace. Minister for Inner Cities and Zongo Development, Dr. Mustafa Hamid, is also imploring the youth to exercise restraint. He explained for a man of God to predict the death of a 100-year-old man, that should not be a big deal.
You see, quite frankly, it's the reason we are doing these Zongo for Peace and Development conferences. Because really, it is not prophecy. And with the greatest of respect to my friend Owusu Bempah, and when I say he's my friend, I mean it. Many of you don't know that. I go to Owusu Bempah's house and I sit and I eat with him. He knows me he's my very good friend. But with the greatest respect, if a pastor says that a 100-year-old man will die, is that prophecy? No, I will urge people not to be upset by things like that. You see, that's the essence of democracy, that people say what they want to say. Besides, when we did Islam in elementary school and secondary school, we were told that Islam is built on 5 pillars and 6 articles of faith. And the 6 articles of faith says, believe in destiny, that every Muslim must believe that whatever happens is ordained by Allah, good or bad. So really, if the chief imam dies, it is for us to believe that this is God's ordained time for him to die, and not because somebody has prophesied it or whatever. Are you following me? So really, my answer to you is that I would rather urge the Muslim population to understand that in a democracy, in a secular environment, people are free to say what they want to say, provided somebody is not physically injuring you or trampling on your right or something.